July 6, 2023. Daily Bread. Passage: Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 1 to verse 14. Key verse 1. Title: Remember the Creator. Remember your Creator in the days of your youth, before the days of trouble come and the years approach when you will say, I find no pleasure in them. Before the sun and the light and the moon and the stars grow dark, and the clouds return after the rain, when the keepers of the house tremble, and the strong men stoop, when the grinders cease because they are few, and those looking through the windows grow dim, when the doors to the street are closed, and the sound of grinding fades, when people rise up at the sound of birds, but all their songs grow faint, when people are afraid of heights and of dangers in the streets, when the almond tree blossoms and the grasshopper drags itself along, and desire no longer is stirred, then people go to their eternal home, and mourners go about the streets. Remember him before the silver cord is severed, and the golden bowl is broken, before the pitcher is shattered at the spring, and the wheel broken at the well. And the dust returns to the ground it came from, and the spirit returns to God who gave it. Meaningless, meaningless, says the teacher. Everything is meaningless. Not only was the teacher wise, but he also imparted knowledge to the people. He pondered and searched out, and set in order many proverbs. The teacher searched to find just the right words, and what he wrote was upright and true. The words of the wise are like goads, their collected sayings like firmly embedded nails, given by one shepherd. Be warned, my son, of anything in addition to them. Of making many books there is no end, and much study wearies the body. Now all has been heard. Here is the conclusion of the matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the duty of all mankind. For God will bring every deed into judgment, including every hidden thing, whether it is good or evil. Daily Bread Message. The teacher starts his conclusion by bringing our attention to the Creator God. He urges us to remember him in our youth. The foolish live without recognizing God, but wisdom will remind one that God is the Creator and controller of the world. When we become physically weak and vulnerable, we will not be able to enjoy the things that we used to find pleasure in, while everything else in the world may seem meaningless. One who has been seeking God from his youth will have peace, knowing that he is going back to God, who gave him life. In the final verses, 9 to 14, the narrator affirms that the wise teacher has carefully put together the words to deliver the truth and wisdom. And the words did not just come from his wisdom, but were given by God. Then he concludes with, Fear God and keep his commandments. When we fear God and live according to his will, we can be free from all the worries of the world, because God brings the right judgment to every good and evil. This true wisdom leads us to live our earthly lives to the fullest. Prayer. Father, thank you for the life you give us. Sometimes I feel confused by what is happening in this world, but I trust you are faithful. Help me to have the faith to trust in you and live a meaningful life fully. One word, fear the Lord.